Hello everyone, and welcome to another video tutorial by me, Nick, from Noisia. Today we are going to dive into The Hole. This is a track we've released some time ago, but is still one of my favorite things we've actually ever done. And yeah, I figured it'd be cool to dive into this project because it's quite a unusual song. As some of you might know, it's got a very unusual time signature. It's also one of our songs that I think has the strongest sort of narrative, and I really like that the song has developed to have that. So I want to try and explain how we got there. So first, I'm gonna play the song. It's in Cubase here right now. This is the project. It's actually a little bigger than I thought it would be because it's a pretty simple song in terms of elements, but guess there's a lot of stuff in this. Still looks pretty complicated. I guess these are just input-output channels, so that's not a big deal. There's also a bunch of stuff that we didn't use, and I'll get to that as well. So I figured I'd first just play the song, maybe not in its entirety, but just to, you know, remind you of what it's like. You get the idea. Then the story starts developing. We bring in some percussion, and then there's a big apotheosis towards the end. And the whole idea of the journey is that you enter a hole, you fall into a hole, and you get out towards the end. But at first it gets smaller and smaller, and then at some point you are liberated and you're out the other side. This track was originally immediately called, the first demo was already called The Hole Part 1. For some reason, I found it a fascinating idea that you'd have a part of a hole or a tunnel or something. So it's kind of half a joke, but half also, I think, an interesting concept. And also, I mean, yeah, it gives you the idea that there might be a sequel, that there's more to a story. And I guess it also pertains to Noisia in a certain way. So I've got here the very first demo, which is from 2017. So that's this, and you can hear that this is pretty much, well, not everything is in here, but the whole tunnel part of it is definitely in there. The story, not so much, but all these elements didn't end up changing that much. The elements of bass, drums, and I mean, that sounds pretty much like the song sounds. In this version, some other elements come in, like this little whistly thing. I took that out, didn't tell enough of a story. This also doesn't develop that much. And then here I had some synths. They didn't really do it. I really wanted a story, so, you know, tried out a bunch of things, ended up with this song. So yeah, as you can tell, the intro and the whole setup of like having 16 bars of like this drone, and then it just starting and you just tunneling into this thing, that stayed. But obviously towards the end here we have this big apotheosis, or like a, you know, big finale with a lot of music happening. So let me back up a little bit. So first, this is, you know, that's basically there's a couple of sections happening. First it's the intro, then you get sucked into the whole and it runs for a little bit. Then here something starts building up slowly and it crescendos through here. And some percussion comes in, extra percussion. And here it starts really building. And there it kind of implodes again, which I really like, that it doesn't do some crazy some sort of drop. It just implodes and this percussion comes in. Now from there on out, we sort of, the hole gets narrower and narrower, and then by the end it's very claustrophobic. It's almost a breathing sound here. Almost like a garbage bag that you're trying to get through. And then here you're out the other side. Yeah, and so we have our ending. And I think that's like what I really like, as I said before, is that there's a narrative in here. So I really like that we managed to just set a loop. You set one certain loop that just goes, like, which was, you know, the thing that happens that when it drops, it just, this just goes, you know, there's like, it's driving and it keeps your attention, but it has a lot of space open to tell a story. And usually with, like, we've done tracks like these before in terms of vibe, and we've also had little bits of story in there, but I think here it really developed and it feels like it came together quite well. Me and Thijs especially are quite big fans of these sort of very narrowly bandpassed atmospheric drones that keep going. We've done a track called End of the River ages ago that had that, and in some of the collabs with TB there's some of that too. These very subtle tones that you have in the song that also are really cool when you suddenly turn them off at some point, and then you sort of hear that you were hearing them but you weren't hearing them consciously. So a major part of this song is this bass tone. And it doesn't seem like much, and it isn't much, but there's a suggested interval in there, like a na 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 sort of thing that you could hear in there, and that creates, combined with the 17/16 kind of, I guess the sequencer is set to 17/16, but I think yeah, it is 17/16. Maybe I should get into that first.